Vermicomposting: how earthworms turn waste into wealth. In an era defined by climate anxiety and overflowing landfills, solutions are often imagined as complex and high-tech. Yet one of the most effective tools for sustainable waste management is ancient, quiet, and alive. Vermicomposting, the practice of using earthworms to break down organic waste, offers a striking reminder that some of the smartest environmental technologies already exist in nature. At its simplest, vermicomposting is the process by which certain species of worms consume food scraps and organic material, transforming them into nutrient-rich compost known as vermicast. This material is not just decomposed waste, it is a biologically active substance teeming with beneficial microbes, enzymes, and plant-available nutrients. Gardeners often describe it as black gold, and for good reason. Vermicompost improves soil structure, boosts plant growth, and increases resistance to disease. What sets vermicomposting apart from traditional composting is efficiency. Standard compost piles rely on heat and microbial activity and can take months to mature. Worm-based systems, by contrast, operate at room temperature and can process waste far more quickly. The worms act as biological processes, grinding, digesting, and enriching material in a continuous cycle. Little energy is required beyond moisture, oxygen, and organic input. The environmental implications are significant. Food waste makes up a large proportion of household rubbish and often ends up in landfills, where it decomposes anaerobically and releases methane, a potent greenhouse gas. Vermicomposting diverts this waste at the source. A small worm bin in a kitchen, school, or community garden can prevent kilograms of waste from entering the broader waste stream each year. Beyond waste reduction, vermicomposting encourages a more intimate relationship with consumption. When people see their leftovers transformed by living organisms, waste becomes visible rather than abstract. Banana peels and coffee grounds are no longer thrown away, they become part of a cycle. This shift in perspective often leads to more mindful food habits and a deeper awareness of ecological processes. Vermicomposting is also remarkably adaptable. Systems range from simple homemade containers to large-scale commercial operations that process agricultural and municipal waste. In urban environments, where space is limited and traditional composting is impractical, worm bins offer a clean, low-odor alternative. In developing regions, vermicomposting has been used to improve soil fertility, reduce reliance on chemical fertilizers, and support local food production. There is, however, a learning curve. Worms are sensitive to extremes of temperature, acidity, and moisture. Certain foods, meat, dairy, and oily scraps, can cause problems if added in excess. Successful vermicomposting requires attention and balance rather than neglect. Yet this need for care is part of its educational value. It teaches patience, responsibility, and respect for living systems. Culturally, vermicomposting challenges modern ideas about cleanliness and value. Worms are rarely admired creatures, and decay is something many prefer not to think about. Yet beneath this discomfort lies an essential truth: life depends on decomposition. Without organisms that break down waste, ecosystems would collapse under their own leftovers. Vermicomposting does not promise a dramatic technological fix to environmental crisis. What it offers instead is quieter and arguably more powerful, a practical demonstration of circular thinking. Waste becomes resource. Consumption leads back to creation. And in a small, dark container filled with worms, the future of sustainability quietly gets to work.